Hello, and thank you for joining me for another episode of Total Ramblings. Today, I'm unboxing some Lego Collectible Minifigures from Series 27. Now, I've got 13 of them here. The reason being is that I get many of my toys from Smith's Toys, but they only let you buy 3 of anything at a time. And then I went to Argos, which is why they've got these big stickers on, and got another 10. So there are, of course, 12 in the collection, but I already have 6 that I didn't open on camera. My daughter bought me 3 and I bought 3 because of the aforementioned limit of 3 per person. Excuse me, I have to have a swig. Diet lemonade. Yes, so we had 6, and luckily all 6 that we bought were different. But then I thought I'd get some more and do some unboxings for you. So let's start then, shall we? With the first one. Okay. Now let me show you. There are 12 figures to collect. We've got a hamster person, a sort of wolf warrior, jetpack guy, telescope girl, plush toy collector, pterodactyl person, longboarder, I think that's the bogeyman, Cupid, it looks like a female pirate to me, a cat lover, and a steampunk guy. Now I happen to know that this one is the telescope girl. Now, a couple of interesting things here. So firstly, she has 2 faces. One where she's squinting to look through her telescope, and she has a space rocket on her torso, and she has the short bendy legs. But look at her arm. She has an artificial arm, which you put on there as an extra piece for a bit of diversity recognition, shall we say. And the rest of the pieces are for the telescope. So we have instructions here to build the telescope, and I'm just going to do that and then show that to you. And we start with this bit upside down. That goes in there. That goes in there. And then we have this piece goes in there. And there is our minifig scale telescope for our telescope girl, to use. And we get a couple of spare pieces, and one of the spare pieces is a spare artificial arm. So there you go. Right. Let's see what we get next. Okay, figure number 2, and we've got Cupid. Just going to turn that over. So Cupid has a sort of toga affair on with sort of like a heart and an arrow going through it there. She's got, he or she, I don't know, is Cupid male or female? I don't know. Got a printed back, printing on the arm, on one arm. Okay. Cupid also has 2 faces, a regular face and a heart face. And then we have the wings, and we have the messy hair. Pretty certain that's a new piece. And then in one hand, Cupid holds a heart. And in the other hand, of course, Cupid holds their bow and arrow. There we go. These wings don't want to stay on. There you go. There's Cupid. One spare piece being an extra heart. Okay, let's carry on. Okay, figure number 3. Now, I can immediately see that this is the pirate lady with the parrot. So we've got a little cape sort of section here. Okay, so I'm just going to tip those bits out. And let's see how this goes on. Right, okay, so the way this, it's not really a cape, it's like a, I don't know what you call it really. It's not really a skirt, not really, there is a word for it, and the word is escaping me right now, I'm afraid. And I have to confess, I've got quite big hands, and I always suffer, not suffer, but I always struggle with putting these bits on. Look, you see, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to sort of bend that around, and then kind of, there we go, there's one bit done. And then you bend that bit around, and then you put, whoa, and then you drop the figure, as is traditional. Well, it's traditional year we're having. And then you put that bit on there. But you see, I can't, it's always been a bit tricky for me to do this, because I've got big clumping fingers that aren't really designed for small work like this. Right, once you've got it on, the idea is to then jam the torso on as quick as possible. Okay, right, that's my recommendation to you. Now, pirate lady, she has 2 faces, a slightly smiling wry kind of face, and a sort of screaming or battle face, I suppose. She's got a bit of printing on the back of her torso, she's got printing on the legs, and sort of printing on the front with lots of sort of gold and things. And then it looks like we've got a dual moulded headpiece, moulded in black and red. She's going to hold a sword, a cutlass, in one hand, and in the other hand she's going to hold her parrot, which has a little bit of printing on the cheeks, eyes and nose. And I don't know if that's a dual moulded or whether that's printed. It's probably dual moulded because it's yellow all the way around on the sort of crest of the parrot. And she goes on there, and we have one spare piece, which is this an extra cutlass. Okay, that's 3. Right, figure number 4. We're doing okay so far. This one is Pterodactyl Man. Now this is a cool figure. So he's got a bit of printing on his feet here to represent his claws. And then he's got printing on the front of the torso and on the arms. And you'll notice the arms are not regular minifig arms because they have the wings attached to them. Pterodactyl Man has 2 faces. I'm going to put the one where he's actively pretending to be a pterodactyl on, and then of course we have his headpiece, which goes like that. And so far, 4 different ones in a row. Okay, number 5. Right, number 5 is, oops, another Cupid. So we're not going to build that one right now because we've already built a Cupid. Okay. Number 6 is, this is our long border. Now, I'm going to make a confession here. I don't really know what a long border is. Is it like a skateboard that's just long? So the figure has printing on the front of the legs and the side of the legs, which is unusual. Printing on the sides of the arms and printing on the torso. Lots of different printing. They've got a backpack and they've got 2 faces. One slightly scuffed up with a plaster on. Looking kind of like in pain. Another one, same face, but looking a bit more stoic. So we also have like another dual molded kind of head, a backwards baseball cap in black with sort of green hair kind of poking through. And then the longboard itself consists of 3 elements. As you can see, it's a stretched skateboard, basically. I assume, I don't know what a longboarder is, but that's my assumption. So there we go. So that's 6 figures opened so far with only 1 duplicate. We're now going to open the next one. And, oops, it's another longboarder, as you can see. So I'm not going to open that one on camera because we've already got one. Put that down there. Okay, the next figure. This is another telescope girl. So I won't open that one on camera because, as I keep saying, we've already got one. Okay, next figure. We've got another lady pirate. You know the routine by now. So this isn't good. We've hit a string of duplicates. Right, what do we have here? Aha, right, so we have another new one. This is the steampunk guy. So, steampunk guy, he's got dual molded legs with printing on the front as well. His torso has got printing, some quite complex sort of goldish printing front and back. He's got printing on his arms. His arms are not the same colour. Okay, let's put his head on. He's got a monocle on, but he's only got one face. And that's because he's wearing this top hat, which doesn't allow Lego to hide the other face behind the hairpiece or the headpiece. So, but we've got printing on the front of the top hat as well. Let me just have a quick look at how to build this device. So it's got a handle with a lever on it, and there's like a printed kind of dial on there. And then actually it's not a handle, it's an exhaust. So coming off, we've got that there. And then we've got the piece at the front that comes out with sort of, I don't know what this machine is meant to be. Is it meant to be like a steampunk pair of pliers, a grappling hook, actually, that makes sense, doesn't it? I think it's a steampunk grappling hook for our steampunk inventor. And, oops, smoke's going in his face. Oh, is he meant to hold it? Oh, he's meant to hold it kind of like that. So there we go, with his sort of steampunky sort of grappling hook. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 figures. We're halfway through the collection. We have a couple of spare pieces. We've got a spare sort of exhaust pipe piece and a spare dial. Okay, we're going to go for our next figure now. What do we have in here? It's another telescope girl. Okay, so it's usually at this point that I start to get worried that we're not going to have the entire collection. Next piece, next figure, another Cupid. Okay, not the best news in the world. Is that all of them? Is that all of them? Really? 1, 2, 3, 4. Got 6 there. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ah, there's one more. Right, this is my last one. I have to say, this haul has not been the best. But we can partially make up for this. Right, we do now have a new figure. This is our cat lover. He's got a sweater with printing front and rear and on the arms as well, and cat fur on the legs. Going to put the face on. So we've got a happy face with glasses, and on the back it looks like he's been scratched by his cat. And we put that on there. This would be a good figure to represent me, in fact. Okay, so we've got a ball of wool, and of course, I'll just move him over. Of course, we have our cat, our long, is it a Persian cat? Quite long fur, but the cat lives there. Right, I bought 13 figures and I got 7 unique ones. Now, as it happens, I did previously buy some others that I've mentioned. So we already have the Bogeyman. Now, the Bogeyman comes with a book with Boo written on it. And inside the book, there's a picture of him. And he doesn't have a minifig head. He is an actual monster. The head goes straight onto the torso like that. And he's got a couple of horns. So that's 8. That's 8 of the collection. I already had a pterodactyl man, so we already had that as a duplicate. I already had a telescope girl, so that's her as a duplicate. Now, hamster man, the hamster guy, he's got a couple of pieces of cucumber to eat. He is a person dressed as a hamster. There are 2 faces, sort of a munchy, eaty, yes, I'm eating the cucumber kind of face. And, oops, I've turned the camera around for some reason. And a sort of smiley kind of face. Let me put the camera down again. There we go. It looks like dual molded arms, pink hands, printing on the toes and on the front of the torso, and a little tail on the back of the torso. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 9 of the minifigs that we've got. And I already had the plushie girl. Now she's got printing of like pockets on her trousers. She's got kind of little wings on the back of her torso. She's got printing of sort of cat on one side and paw on the other on her arms. She's got these 2. They look a bit like squishmallows, these 2 figures. She's got a sort of happy face there and a sort of either sleep or content face kind of on the back. So that's 10. And then I already had a long border. So what am I missing? Disappointing that is. I am missing the wolf guy and the jetpack guy. Those are the 2 that I have not managed to pick up in my random selection. What I tend to do in this kind of situation, and I was hoping to get a full set for this video, but hey ho, what I tend to do in this situation is I will probably go on to Bricklink, eBay at a push to try and get the ones that I'm missing. Also, my daughter quite likes the hamster man, so I was hoping to get at least a duplicate of that one. And I quite like the boogie monster, so I was hoping to get maybe another one of them, but I didn't. So anyway, out of a total of 19 figures that I've bought, I have almost exactly half, 10 are individuals, unique kind of ones, and the other 9 are duplicates, which is disappointing because I was hoping that this video could do a complete set of all of them for you, but that is not the way it goes, I'm afraid. So yeah, these are the ones that I've managed to pick up. I don't always buy all the collectible minifigs. For example, Harry Potter ones I don't buy. I didn't buy the Dungeons and Dragons ones. The space ones I invested quite heavily in. But yeah, these ones looked quite fun. It's just a shame I haven't managed to get the whole set. So there we go. That's it from me. Thank you very much for joining me for this episode of Total Ramblings. And I will hopefully see you in the next episode. Bye.